Hello, welcome to MySQL Workbench. This MySQL Workbench is the official GUI tool for MySQL. It allows you to design, create, and browse your database schemas, work with the database objects, and insert data, as well as design and run SQL queries to work with the data stored. Later on, you can migrate it to some other MySQL databases also. Now, moving on to how to create SQL script and how to create database and manage those database. So, very first you have to create a local instance MySQL, which is running a local host on port 3306, and the user ID is root. You have to connect it to by double clicking on it. After clicking on it, it will connect to your MySQL server, which is pre-configured on the system. While connecting, it will ask you to enter a password. By default, the password is 123, and after successfully entering a password, you will get the window like this. Now we have some already imported database here. The database can be imported from this option. We can go to data import, restore, and we can browse our SQL file from here, import from self-contained file, and whatever is the script written into this .sql file, as per that script, the database would be imported here. Now quickly we'll move on to the query section. So we have here database called MyDB. Whenever you want to work on any database, you have to set it as a default schema. And if you already have any script loaded into it, you can go and open MySQL script from here. Okay, so I had already created a script. Just let's see. You can open a script by going on my Open SQL script downloads. So this is the script. You can hide this window from here. Now in MyDB we have tables named as, this has been created for a schema called MyFlix database, where MyFlix is the business which stores or which rents out the movies on a payment basis. So we have categories, members, movie rentals. So categories stores the detail of the movie categories, for example genres. Members, it stores the information about, you can see here in the column, it stores the information about the members, their full name, contact details. Likewise, we have a table called payments, wherein member makes a payment, then details of a movies. So in movie detail, we have movie ID, title, director, the year in which it was released, category ID. Likewise, for payments, we have payment ID, number, date, description, amount paid, and references. So moving on to our first DML statement, select star from payment. Let's say you want to see till date how many movies and the revenue that you have generated through payments. So right now here the table entry is null, so none of the movies have been rented out so far. This particular query is going to give you this another DML query. It will going to give you the name of a director and the year in which this movie was released with the help of operator, with the help of function called concatenate function. This query will going to give you only the date of birth from the table member, wherein we are interested only in getting the year. So as you can see that this query does not give any result because this table is The tables here are blank, so we would work on the other database wherein we have some entries. So let me again run this queries. So select start from payment. So here you get all the details regarding the payment, the membership numbers, the IDs, the date, and amount which is paid. Now this next query is to get only the title and the name of director together in one column and putting into a bracket, pair of brackets. So concat is the function which lets you concat more than one column. Next SQL query is to only print the date of birth, wherein we need to only focus the year. So here the other string operation or function which is in use is a left, which gives you the number of characters that you want from a particular column. So we want only year of birth, so here we had mentioned 4. Now wherever we are in need to create a backup of a particular table, so how can we do that? So first we need to create a replica of a table by copying a similar attribute names and their data types, and while inserting a data, we will not insert into one by one into that table. What we're going to do is we're going to write insert into categories archive. This is the table which we have created for backup, and instead of putting these single values, we will select everything from the categories table whose backup we want. So all the data are inserted. Now we'll have to see whether, okay, so it says that it does not exist, so I have to run this query once the table would get created. Now I'm going to insert by running this query. So 8 rows it is saying affected, that means there should be 8 entries. So now we can see here this has been done. Your backup has been created in a one single shot in one single query. Now moving on to some more advanced function of SQL where we have group by and having clause. So as we all know that group by clause allows us to perform a grouping based on a specific attribute or specific column. So this will, since we have movies which are based on their category ID, and if suppose we would like to see all the movies which are coming under that particular ID, so we're going to apply a group by clause on a category ID as well as on a year release. This is like if you want to see a particular ID for a particular year. Now next query we have select star from member. Well, so this query demonstrate you, let's suppose we want to know only the people or the members who belong to the Texas, and we want to do certain publicity or promotion related to movie, those who are staying in a Texas. So we're going to use this special operator, wildcard operator called person sign. So writing person sign in the beginning, it means that string could start with anything but should have tx at the end. So tx is a short form for Texas. So right now we don't have any members who lives in Texas, so that's why the entry is null. Now another string operator we have is a like operator and with some special character. So this like operator comes into picture whenever you want to search the pattern present inside a string, not the whole string. So now for example we have a movie called, if suppose I select start from movies, so here you can see the name of movie titles wherein the name of movie is 67% guilty. Now person we have already seen here is the special wildcard character. So if I just write like 67%, then it would treat it as like a special character. So to off its meaning we need to take a help of some escape character. So this hash is the escape character. We have defined it with the word escape, and this first person sign is to of the meaning of this person character, and the second one is to match with the any number of characters hereafter. Let's execute the query. So we get only the title or the movie having a title 67% guilty. Similarly, we can apply aggregate function, which is a count. So let's assume we want to find the movie where the count movie ID is 2. So we want to see how many such movies have been rented out. So here we can see that there are 3 movies rented out from the table movie rental where movie ID is 2.